If somebody is threatening you with a knife and threatening your life, it is your job to apologize for what they're doing. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I truly appreciate your continued support, and I hope that you are subscribed as well, particularly if you are watching on Rumble, because we do need to support platforms that support free speech. So I saw this video on Twitter yesterday, and it is actually really sad and really funny at the same time. I'm not entirely sure where this happened, but this guy and his friends, I'm only going to mention the race because race is actually really relevant to the situation. This white guy and his friends were in a park, and there was a black guy that came up and had a knife and started threatening them and actually threatening their lives with this knife. And so they called the police, and which any of us would do, as you should do. Call the police if anybody is threatening your life. That is what they are there for. But what happens and how this all unfolds just demonstrates how melted people's brains have become and how we are just losing all logic and reason and sanity, and everything is just kind of going down the pooper. So I'm going to play this video. It's about 1.5 minutes long, and then I'm going to just kind of offer my 2 cents worth because there's just a lot of thoughts that I have about this. So let's have a look.
He was arrested and charged with simple assault and terroristic threats. Following his arrest, he was transported to the DeKalb County Jail.
Let's go to the squad car, please. Okay, that way.
Why is it happening? I'm being arrested?
Yes.
For what?
For what?
I'll be with you. Just 1 second.
Are you arrested?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to leave you alone.
But still, I will need for you to fill out a statement for him.
I don't want him arrested. I just want him to leave us
I
alone.
know, but he had a weapon on him, and it was terrorist threats.
Brandishing is not a crime with a knife. Brandishing is only a crime for a gun.
Terroristic threats, though, sir.
Because he said die to me and had his knife out?
All that was done. The threats, everything. Let me get a statement.
If I thought you were going to arrest him, I wouldn't call. I just wanted to leave us alone.
I understand, but we still have a job to do.
Now he's gonna think I'm doing this because I'm white and he's black, or he's homeless and I'm not. I don't want that.
But did he do what he did?
Yeah, but I don't want him thinking I did it because he's in whatever situation he's in. I just want him to leave us alone.
I doubt that. I'll be right back, okay?
So this is what happens when things like CRT melt your brain, where literally everything is looked at through the lens of racism, even at the expense of your own safety. And this guy he truly believes that this is him exercising his white privilege, that he called the police on this guy because he's white and that he has more opportunity and privilege than this guy. It has nothing to do, even though, he's in the middle of a situation where this guy is threatening him, he truly thinks that he is exercising this oppression over him because he called the police. And I honestly think this officer is looking at him like he is insane. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but both officers were black as well. And he's sitting here saying, well, he's going to think that I called the police because I'm white and he's black, or, he's homeless and I'm not. And the police officer is going, but did he do the things that you just said that he did? He's like, well, yeah, but I just wanted him to leave us alone. So he didn't lie. He didn't do anything to, have the police come out and arrest this guy for no reason. He had a reason to do so. His safety was in question. And this officer is looking at him going, no, we're arresting him because he made terroristic threats. We're arresting him because he had a weapon on him. And as this guy said, is it because he said the word die? And the woman's like, yeah, that has a lot to do with it. So it just shows how nonsensical all of this is. But I also think that, I'm not a black person, but clearly. But I would think that Black people looking at this and constantly, this theme where we need to treat them as lesser than would start to get a little bit obnoxious, because this guy is saying he's going to think that I'm calling the police because I'm white and he's Black, meaning that he doesn't think that this guy is capable of understanding that he was breaking the law, and that is the reason that the police were called. It's like, constantly treating black people or talking to them like they're children, like they're not going to be able to understand the consequences of their actions, that they don't understand the law, that they don't understand if they're threatening somebody's life, that might be grounds for somebody to call the police on them. And this white guy is unknowingly expressing that he truly thinks that he has a greater capability of understanding than this black guy that he just called the cop. Also, I think that his reaction here might have something to do with the fact that every time there's a conflict between a white person and a black person, the white person, regardless of the situation, is always at fault. Not to mention, these woke mobs have demonstrated their ability and their willingness to go to any length to make their point known that essentially we can't hold black people accountable for anything. Never mind that they constantly ignore the black on black crime that happens on a daily basis and regularly, and that actually contributes to more violence against black people than any other demographic. It's that if a white person is involved, then automatically the whole situation needs to be chalked up to racism. And that means that gives them license to go out and riot. It gives them license to go out and loot. It gives them license to go out and burn things down. It gives them license to threaten people and to make the lives of the justice department, whether it be the law enforcement that are involved or the judges or the lawyers or anything like that, all of these people that are involved are now at risk if they even try to defend this white person. So this guy has probably seen situations like with George Floyd or with Jordan Neely, where the white person is the one that is charged or arrested or threatened or harassed or targeted in some way for getting into a conflict with the black person, and he's thinking, oh geez, like I don't want to be responsible for that. If something negative happens to this guy while in police custody, I'm going to be responsible for that. I'm going to be targeted for that. I am the one that's going to be put on the hook for this, and I could, who knows what's going to happen, because in situations like this, justice actually does not exist. So quite frankly, if I were in his shoes, maybe I would have started crying too, because I have seen all of the things that happen when situations like this occur. And just one more thing I want to bring up, this makes me think of the constant conversations about gun control that the left is always having, because they like to say that gun control is about saving lives, it's about preserving lives, it's about keeping people safe, it's about taking dangerous weapons off the street. When in all honesty, we know that it is about the Second Amendment. It is about going after the Second Amendment and taking away our right to bear arms. That is not what they say, but it's proven in situations like this where they are programmed to hear the word gun and respond in a way where they recognize the threat. But if you bring in any other kind of weapon where somebody's life is in danger or potentially being threatened, it's like they don't even hear it. It goes in one ear and out the other. So this is an example of programming. It's not just brainwashing, but it's programming. They're like, we're going to say these words, we're going to say these phrases, and you are going to say the things that you have been trained to say following those phrases. But in any other situation where somebody has a weapon where they could threaten the lives of innocent people, you're not even going to recognize it. You're not even going to respond to it. In fact, you're not going to see that it is a threat at all. So it's just absolutely mind-blowing. Because in this guy's mind, like, it would have been better off for his friends, him and his friends, to not call the cops at all and let this guy run around threatening them with a knife and potentially harming them than to call the police and get this guy off the streets, because there's a good chance that if he is threatening them and wanting to take their lives and being a nuisance and being harmful and aggressive, then if they let him go, there's a good chance he's going to go and do it to somebody else, and heaven forbid actually carrying out the thing that he's threatening to do. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this crazy situation. Again, it just shows how melted people's brains have become and how they just cannot see the logic, the reason behind any of this, because it doesn't exist. People are just accepting things and spouting things that make absolutely no sense at all, and they're not even recognizing when their own safety is in danger, because all they have been programmed to do is respond in certain ways and think in the ways that they have been brainwashed to think. So again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I think I already said that, but if you feel so inclined, hit the little thanks button and support the channel through a small donation. I appreciate your support, and I will see you in the next one.